Welcome to video number error 404 not found, where I tell you about all those Comic-Con reveals that apparently I was the only person on Earth who didn't know were coming. I can't tell you the number of people who are like, idiot, why didn't you just wait for Comic-Con and then do the reveals then? Well, let me count the reasons. 1. I didn't know that Comic-Con was going to have Transformers content. 2. I didn't know or give half a shit what day Comic-Con was on. 3. The video was already full, so I wouldn't have covered the stuff anyways had it been out at the time. And 4, and definitely most importantly, if I make a video on Wednesday, I can't cover information that comes out on Thursday, now can I? I love you guys, but sometimes the criticisms of me that you come up with are truly, literally insane. Anyways, in just a couple weeks, on August 8th, it will be the channel's 3-year anniversary. We are making good progress towards hitting 14k subscribers, so if you would, your likes, please give. And if you enjoyed this video by the end, please consider subscribing. Also, huge thanks to so many people that I've lost track this time. I'm not joking. I think that there were literally over 20 people who sent me just about all the reveals from this last event. I want to say that I am so very grateful for all the people who want to help me. But at the rate this is multiplying, if I were to thank everyone continually for the help, eventually the videos will be like 20 minutes of shoutouts before 10 minutes of reveals. So, considering the fact that I know I'm going to forget at least someone who helped me out this time, I think the only fair way to do this is to just say thank you to the usual suspects, and thank you to everyone new who helped me out this time. I'm sorry that I won't be thanking you individually here, but just know that you have my sincere gratitude. Even if you were the last person who sent anything, and only wound up sending me stuff that other people had already sent, I still thank you from the deepest part of my heart. On to the reveals. They showed off a hotshot with the longest name any Transformers figure has ever had. And I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to bother with a recolored hotshot. I honestly never thought his ketchup and mustard color scheme was all that cool. But then they just had to give this new guns some blast effects that I hope look that good in real life, and a minicon. And just fucking goddamn it, you made a sale, you sons of bitches. I don't even want this and I want this. I swear I don't remember his minicon being called Jolt, but he looks great. A huge step up from both the older minicons and also the garbage Micromasters from Siege. On the box, I'm seeing Armada Thrust, who is clearly being retooled out of an Earthrise Starscream mold. Fucking gross. Can the Classics Seeker please die already? It was good for 20 years ago. Its bastardized descendants do not need to keep shitting up our shelves though, especially on a character who has no business whatsoever being put in a regular Seeker body. Where are his freak hands? And if that Conehead is faux forming, I will throw feces at the CEO of Hasbro if I ever see him in real life. So your move, Hasbro man. Do you want to risk it? Or just give us what we deserve? Then there's Studio Series 86 Shattered Glass Rodimus Unicronus and Wheeljack. And this has to be some kind of sick joke. Seriously? People have been screaming at you for an Armada Wheeljack for years, since the literal first days of the Siege mold. And instead, you're selling it in the Shattered Glass line as a different character with the wrong colors. You evil bastard people. Why do I want this so much? It's not even that you painted the Autobot logo wrong. That would be fixable. No, you painted everything wrong, and then molded on a second faction symbol with a con logo, so you can't even customize this right. This is like a sick and twisted way to torture a fan base. The head is different and weird for sure. I don't know if it's going for the show model or something else, but it's a lot boxier than I expected. As for Rodimus, I've talked about this before. It looks sick. Then again, I am an edgy bitch. Put something in black and red in front of me and I'll start shooting the devil's horns. Then there's the Javelin and Cascade 2-pack, which is awesome, hilarious, and sad all at once. Awesome because since IDW2 came out, I've wanted a Javelin figure. Also a light bright one. Hasbro, you cowards! Give us Cybertron's girliest girl! Come and fight me on my lawn! If I win, you shall make me a light bright figure! Anyways, yeah, Javelin is an awesome design, and everyone seems to agree with that, because people want this. What they don't want, however, sadly, is Cascade. I've gotten like 3 offers from different people to buy just their Cascade off them when they get the multi-pack, since they only want Javelin. And look, there's no question, Javelin is the cooler looking figure here. And she's got the cooler job. And she's the better mold. And she'll pose better. And transform better. And we haven't had a million versions of the Bumblebee RC before, like we've had with the Power of the Prime's Moonracer here. So I get it. It's just kind of sad how much no one seems to want this thing. As for Javelin, I'm kind of famously cold on the Bumblebee RC figure because my first copy was manufactured broken, but I am open to this new take, since it does look so much cooler. Though it's definitely not as accurate as you could hope. Honestly, I don't think it would be too much to ask for them to retool the foot into more of a single spike so they were less movie-like, but you know what, this looks excellent. I will pick it up, and I will probably not hate Cascade. Though, honestly, I think that mold was probably best when it still had its comboner, because then at least it had an excuse as to why it was so compromised, and it could do some really cool combining. Oh, and for those who are wondering what Ascenticon Cascade means, in the second IDW comic universe, the Ascenticons were the political faction Megatron led that became the Decepticons when they incorporated a terrorist organization into their ranks. You might think that since I didn't really like the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime so much it caused me to return it, that I might be really bummed that Nova Prime is a version of that thing. But actually no, I didn't think it worked for that figure at all. But here, actually, hell yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I think the white is slimming, and honestly, I don't have like 50 versions of this character to compare it to, so I'm not left going, this is a bad version of something I already have. Instead, I expect it to be like, this is a moderately acceptable, way too chunky version of a character in desperate need of any figure representation. Not a ringing endorsement, I know, but hey, you keep printing IDW stuff and I will keep buying it. This is a money-making machine for you, so just crank that handle. I love how much skinnier and cooler he looks on the box. Then there's the thing that seems to be making most people mad, the Menasor box set. And you know, I could understand Hasbro releasing this, like, a year from now, but I've still never even seen a breakdown. Not that I would buy that trash if I did, but I haven't even had the opportunity to not buy it yet. And here Hasbro is, selling it in one big, easy-to-get box set, rather than all the hunting bullshit that we've had to do for this thing over the last year. And hilariously, it's in toy colors. So if you wanted a normal one, too bad for you, this is your lot. But they also didn't retool the legs to fix him, so huzzah! A toy-based Menasor whose legs are based off the terrible show design and not the far better toy one that he's supposed to be. What will they think of next? Though, what am I complaining about? Literally everything about this is wrong for the toy, considering that Menasor's head isn't housed inside of a refrigerator right now. He also doesn't have the right horns for some reason either, so big fail all around. I hear tale that Breakdown got some retooling to be more like a Lamborghini. Wow, the thing that he should have been in the first place? What a brilliant idea! I will admit that Wild Rider's alt mode looks better like this by a ton. Dead End looks more fun in robot mode with more color contrast. I might even be more here for Motormaster's new gray overalls look. There is no denying that this is the way to get this set. It's just kind of a spit in the eye that they sold the new version so soon after the old one. Also, what is up with Breakdown's head? Why is it completely different between these two pictures? Then there's Siege Nacelle. It's funny how this guy used to be a complete nobody nothing of a character, basically only existing as a Collector's Club exclusive for the longest time, and he still doesn't have a character, but now every time the Seeker mold gets trodden out, he's gotta get a figure in a deluge of repaints. And all this talk of Seeker repaints has made me think of Andrew Sorohan. I'm sad now. Then there's the frankly awesome-looking 86 Ultra Magnus, who, I have to say, is clearly going to be better than the Masterpiece, and will probably be better than the X-Transbots one as well, because despite that thing's amazing posing, it's got a horrendous transformation. So as long as this doesn't crash and burn on that front like no one's business, it will be by default the best one. Not to cast any undue aspersions on this thing just yet, because it does look so damn good. I mean, the truck cab is clearly going to fold into a tiny cube, and I'm not sure if this parts forms to transform, but its legs seem to be mounted on comboners. And I can't tell if this actually comes with blast effects, but it's definitely coming with another Matrix. Dear God, why? Please, not another one. And it doesn't seem all that big for a commander given the size of the regular water bottle next to it, but I have a fair amount of faith that this will be good. Then there's Frenzy, who is red because yes, who I only bring up because red. And I swear if someone mentions to me that he was in more different media as a blue character, I will strangle you. Yes, he was in more different media as the wrong color. You know what else he was in? Hours and hours of G1. If you combined every second of screen time he had in all media where he was blue, and then lingered on the frames of the comics where he was blue for 5 minutes per frame, he would still have 10 times more screen time as red. So stop trying to make the argument that he should be blue because Bob Budiansky once looked at an uncolored photo of a toy from Japan and gave it an arbitrary name that was the 500th one he came up with that day. It makes more sense with it being red, it's from a far more important piece of media, he has way more screen time with this color scheme, there is no argument to be made. I swear you only care to piss off G1 fans. Noah. Wow, this sucks. Like, really hard. It looks nothing like he did in the movie, it turns into a jet, which he did not even remotely do in the movie, and it does nothing to transform. I don't even think the head flips away, I think that's it right there, just behind the gun. Speaking of sucking, Nightbird. Holy shit, what a calamity. Is that the biggest backpack of any figure ever? I think it might just be the biggest backpack of any figure ever. Also, anyone else noticing that this is just a retool of the mainline figure? It's got the same hip chunks, the legs are a million folded hinges that look exactly like the old ones, dick way too big, arms about the same. This is just that piece of shit again with a new head and a worse backpack, isn't it? This is comically awful looking. You have got to love how it's 900 million times sleeker looking on its box. Then there's a Transformers first movie Decepticon box set. You know me, I don't care. Won't Blackout be like 3 times bigger than everything else in that box? You've got 86 Ratchet, who, I just have to point out, is not an 86 figure. Guys, in the movie, Ratchet only had one medical sign and it was on his left shoulder. And it also wasn't that one. I know the Red Cross asked companies to stop putting its logo on their toys, and it's cool of you to respect that without being forced to do so. But here's an idea, don't put a symbol on either shoulder. That way, if we absolutely needed one, we could do it correctly ourselves. Whatever, I'm still gonna buy this, it's a really good mold. Looks like they're getting closer to finishing Deathsaurus, which, yes, I did back. Not because I wanted it, but because you wanted to see me review it, and I am nothing if not incapable of telling you all no. It looks good, but I don't know that I need another version of this guy. I have my 2, thank you, and they're both IDW. Then there's the next crossover figure, which I guess is a thing from Stranger Things Season 4. Weird to pick the season the least number of people have seen for this figure. I've only seen up to Season 3 myself, so this is news to me. You couldn't pick, like, Hopper's police mobile or something. You picked a pizza delivery van. Are you just going to retool this for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles down the line? Be honest. Also, hello, Siege Ironhide's legs. What are you doing here? Where are those cancerous growths on your toes? Why does this figure look like it's made out of a brick of butter? How could you literally not choose anything cooler for this crossover? Lastly, there's the new Masterpiece movie figure, which, you know me, I don't care about, but I do have at least a few interesting thoughts on. Bone Crusher really got an alt mode that only makes sense at all from like 2005 to 2007. No other era in American history would have thought to use a minesweeping truck for any Transformers character. This is a vehicle that was only in the cultural brain space for like 2.5 years. You would not have made this in 2001, and you would not have made this in 2010. And for some reason it was driving up and down the roads in the US in the movie. I almost feel like nearly any other military vehicle was more at home on the home streets at that time. Anyways, that's not half of what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.